Welcome back. We aren't the only ones yelling into the internet about how hyped we are for brand new video games like Guardians of the Galaxy and the Final Fantasy game by the Team Ninja guys. Zach, what did the internet have to say?
Well, over on every bird enthusiast's favorite website, twitter.com, Reverie Dawn says, normally when I watch E3, I'm like, look at all these pretty cool games, but I never end up playing them. But with Halo Infinite, Guardians of the Galaxy, Forza Horizon 5, and more, I'm actually excited to play these new games. I think what we're seeing over on social right now is that there is a tremendous amount of hype for Guardians, for sure. More so than I think we've seen for Halo, more so than I think we've seen for games revealed throughout the course of the day today. I wanted to ask the panel just what in particular you guys are hyped to see. Doesn't matter if it was in the Xbox showcase, doesn't matter if it was in the Square showcase. What are the games that you saw today that you were like, oh, day one, I'm going to be there and I'm going to play it? Mitchell, let's start with you.
So I think one of the things that's always really exciting about E3 is getting to see really exciting games that are coming up, but also being able to play them in that moment. And with a virtual E3, you usually don't get to get that. But with Final Fantasy Origin, there's a demo that's apparently out right now, even though when I tried to download it, it said that the file was corrupt, so I couldn't actually play it. But,
yeah, I was going to ask, is it actually out right now, that demo, or is it just the suggestion of out right now?
It's definitely the suggestion of being out. But
right.
But yeah, I'm super excited to play. I have a lot of questions about this game as a big fan of Neo, as a big fan of action games. There's a tweet going around about the guy just wearing a normal ass shirt, which I think is really funny because one of the big things in Neo, there he is, there's that man. One of the big things in Neo is the loot system, is the fact that you can totally customize what your character looks like. And I'm curious to know what they're going to do about loot in this game, or if they're just going to completely ignore that all throughout, or if it's just going to be you're going to be using the same weapon for each of these individual characters. Maybe you'll get different versions of those weapons. But yeah, like I said, a lot of questions about this game that I'm hoping the demo will answer.
I love anachronistic wardrobe in Final Fantasy. I played through all of FF14 or 15 with Noctis wearing like a parka and like snowboarding pants. He just looked like a regular teenager. It was great. Cam, what were you excited about?
Yeah, I'm still, even though I sounded disappointed originally, and I still am to a certain degree, I'm excited about this 1 through 6 collection for Final Fantasy. It's upgraded. We don't know for certain if it's like a 1-for-1 of the original pixel art of those games, but it seems to clean up some of, again, the muddiness that the original Steam releases had. And we're also getting the US version of Final Fantasy 3, I think, for the very first time. Like, it never got an official localization, so that is really cool news as well. Granted, it's only gonna be playable on PC for right now, but I think these games realistically will hopefully come to other consoles in the future that aren't just PC. So that's cool. And there's also Legend of Mana, which is something that Square has been doing recently with a lot of their retro games. They've been remastering them. They did the Collection of Mana, where they did Secret of Mana and Trials of Mana, and now they're doing Legend of Mana. They've been doing the Saga series with the Romance and Saga 1,
and there is no better
2,
car
3,
to explore it than
as well as Saga Frontier Remaster. So I like seeing that like Square cares about their old IP. They're bringing them to modern consoles, so those like me, who's like a little bit just outside of that age range when I was a kid, to be able to play those games, to now play them today.
I want to give you crap for being excited in E3 2021 about games from like 1994, but we know that they're good. That's the thing is like new games, you're often like, this looks cool. Then you play it and you're like, I want my $60 back. In this case, it's kind of a safe bet, which is cool. There was a lot shown off during the Xbox showcase. There's the one sort of side scroller, sort of pixel looking replaced, I think.
Yes.
That looks really cool. I'm super into that. I feel like when people do sort of a pixel art approach to things, they often really up the saturation, but I love how kind of, muted the tones are in this. It's very like kind of not gritty per se, but I also just like the aesthetic is kind of quasi cyberpunk, but I'm really into this.
Yeah, the animation and the pixel art working together is gorgeous. Like they're doing some really cool stuff with pixel art too. Like just even in this opening shot, this is just like a huge pixel art forest. You know, like I love the way that they're moving these pixels on multiple planes. Like there's a shot later in the trailer where there's like cars driving in the foreground and stuff. Like it just has a really distinct visual style that right away was really intriguing to me. I think looks like a really awesome game.
I think it's also the lighting effects that are really, really impressive. Look at those God rays coming through.
That's awesome.
Right,
it's kind of like what they did with Octopath Traveler a little bit, you know?
HD 2D, right?
I'm into it. It's very cool. Yeah, is there anything else? I mean, there's a ton, right?
Yeah, I was gonna shout out Forza Horizon 5 as a day one purchase for me.
You don't have to purchase it.
Not necessarily purchase. Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of God Rays, it is a Game Pass game. I'm not really much of a carman. I don't really, like racers aren't my go-to genre. But when I got my Series X, I checked out Forza Horizon Motorsport, or Forza Horizon 4, excuse me, just as something, like obviously car games are kind of a graphical showcase, and I wanted to see what the Series X upgrade looked like, and got surprisingly addicted to Forza Horizon 4 and just really played the hell out of that game. I think it does some really, really fun stuff to the kind of arcade racing genre. Really cool stuff with how deeply you can customize your cars. Max, you told us about your car earlier that was covered in Peppa Pig
decals all over it. It's very fast and adorable.
And this looks like more of that. And man, it looks gorgeous. Like I'm really excited to explore more of an open world Horizon setting. I thought it was really cool that there was like shout outs to local artists and stuff as you're tearing through Mexico. I just think that there's a lot to love in this game in the brief glimpse that we got of it. And I'm stoked to jump back into Forza.
Yeah, I just want to also quickly add on about Forza is that I said, this on the post Xbox show that I haven't really played any of the Forza games. I always see them come out like that looks cool, but I'm just really particular about my racing games. But after seeing Horizon 5, I got to go back to Horizon 4. I got to check that out, and then I'm excited to hop into Horizon 5 on day one.
Over on Twitter, at ign-live says that Forza Horizon is the only game that they're going to miss now that they've retired their Xbox. What a shame, Yeah, Forza Horizon's right around the corner. What a time to retire your Xbox.
I am super duper regretting not pre-ordering a Series X when they were possible to track down. Now, IGN Summer of Gaming is going on all summer long, all through E3 Comic-Con and Gamescom, a whole bunch of stuff, and there's lots of stuff happening in between, probably weird one-off events we don't even know about yet. And while we're winding down on the Square Enix stuff, today is only just getting started, and there's still the PC Gaming and Future Games showcases coming up. And there's still 2 more days of this stuff. You can find our Summer of Gaming coverage everywhere on IGN.com, on YouTube, on social media, and now even on your smart TVs. And of course, for additional content, check out E3's online portal and app featuring virtual booths, articles, and more. And if all that sounds like way too much trouble, you can stay right where you are and just don't do anything. And tons more gaming coverage is coming your way. The PC Gaming Show is kicking off right now. Let's check it out.